I've been using the iPhone XS Max for a little over a month now, and I think I'm ready to share my thoughts and my opinions with you in this full review. Let's start with the camera. You still have to go through the settings to make any format changes to frame rates or anything like that. Why is this still a thing? Please just give us the ability to make camera setting changes in the camera application, Apple. There's nothing more infuriating than having to jump out, go to settings, look for the camera, then go in, make those changes to the videos that I want to shoot. Not only is it counterintuitive, it's also very frustrating to the user experience. And if you want to make changes from 4K or 60p to 1080p 240, those are things that you simply can't do because you have to make the changes in the settings or make sure that those things are set before you do those projects or shoot those things. The ability to shoot high frame rate videos so you can get 240 frames at 1080p, that's something my C200 doesn't do. And you're also able to shoot 4K 60. That's something my Sony a7 III doesn't do. And that's something that is amazing to me. You got these really tiny sensors that can produce some really nice footage. Battery life on the XS, it remains the same, even though it's smaller in milliamp hours compared to the 10. And the XS Max consistently gets me through the day with anywhere between 20 and 40% left on charge before I put it back on the charger at night, and that's taking it off at 5:30 in the morning. I will say that I think the smaller battery on the iPhone XS is much improved over the 10, but that's not a hardware thing because the 10 has a larger battery. I think it's more of an iOS power management scheme that they got running on the back end. And it does a really good job at getting my wife through the day because she uses the XS, and it does a better job than the 10 did for her. Build quality. The XS Max is a really hefty phone, 208 grams to be exact. And I will say I notice its weight in my pocket and when I'm holding it for long periods of time. The stainless steel makes it a beefy device and it's quite unwieldy at times, especially when you got to make those top screen adjustments and all that type of stuff. It really gets, by the end of the day, my pinky here is really tired. And I think I need to hit the gym and maybe do some curls this way so I can beef this muscle up so I can hold this device. You will notice the weight of the iPhone XS Max over time, especially if you're using it in bed or anything. Don't drop that on your face because it's going to leave a mark. The display looks great, but I find myself inadvertently swiping or hitting something on the screen of the XS Max much more frequently than I did the 10. That's just the nature of the beast and having a larger device. Now the speakers are much improved and are much more pronounced in representing the frequency response range on both sizes of the phone. But I will say that I feel like that iPhone XS Max produces much more fuller sound in the lows. It's just maybe the surface area of the phone or whatever, it's reverberating within the chassis or something. It just sounds like it's producing the basses much more accurately and it's much more pronounced. The notch, it still bothers me, and it doesn't matter if the app is optimized to use it or not. It's there and I see it, and people say that you don't see it. That's a lie. It is there and you notice it, whether it's playing a game, watching content or whatever. And the worst is consuming media. You see it cut out something. There's something there that you're missing. And it doesn't matter, whatever, that 2:1 ratio, that's great, but you're still missing that part. And I don't like it. The user interface, iOS 12 is much improved, and I welcome the notification changes it brought. I feel like this version of iOS is the closest it's ever been to Android, therefore it's making it even easier for me to recommend it to my green bubble friends. Now I can move on with my plan to take over the world by converting them and getting them my iPhone and getting them within Messages or iMessage so we can all share our eggplant pictures together. Let's bring this thing to a close and talk about my recommendations. Knowing what I know now, I think I would have gone with the XS over the XS Max. The Max has a great screen and the battery life to match it, but the size and weight of it have become quite the annoyance. And the introduction of screen time in iOS 12 has me picking up my device much less frequently and looking at it. So I guess it's a good thing, but I will say that my pinky is sore. Like, this muscle is sore and it's not getting any better. This is a beefy, thick boy when it comes to a phone. That stainless steel and glass, you will feel it at the end of the day if you're holding your device for long periods of time. So in my recommendation to you, if you can score the 10, I would go for that because you can probably get that on discount via carriers. But if you were to go this route with the XS and you're looking at the XS Max, I will say that I would recommend to you the XS if you have medium to small size hands. Because I just find myself inadvertently swiping and doing things on the screen. The UI is just not optimized for having the two-handed grip on a phone of this size with this much screen real estate. There's no tolerance for error there, and you will inadvertently swipe on things, and that's just the nature of the beast, and that's what comes with this form factor. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you enjoyed this review, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.